Yes guys, welcome back to Cop Noise TV. Now unfortunately, we've got no international breaks to look forward to, which means only one thing: Liverpool have to play another game of football. Oh shit, yes, that's how bad it's got, that Liverpool were that bad that I don't think any fan looks forward to the weekends anymore. For me personally, it was a thing to look forward to. It was the thing that kind of got me through the week, knowing that the Reds are going to be playing and we're going to be competing. And right now we are so fucking bad. It's unbelievable. But look, we're not here to look through the past. We're here to look at what is coming forward. And what is coming forward is an away game on Sunday at the London Stadium against West Ham United. West Ham have been struggling of late. I can't, you can't really say much about it. They're currently sat 17th in the league. They're poor. Let's get it right. West Ham are poor. They've had a shocking start to the season. They started with Graham Potter. They changed the manager already. And to be honest, I quite like their current manager at the moment. I think Nuno was he unlucky to leave Forest? I'm guessing all the stuff with Marinakis had something to do with that, but ultimately I think what Forest lost is West Ham's gain, and it sounds a bit crazy to say what Forest lost, given that they smashed us at Anfield last weekend. But anyway, so West Ham currently are sat in the doldrums of the Premier League, just above the relegation zone. Do I think West Ham are going to go down? No, I don't. I think there are three teams worse off than West Ham, so I can't see them. I think they will get out of it. They've got some decent players. I think Jarrod Bowen is a player that I've always admired for West Ham, and actually, if he wasn't of the age that he is, I think he's probably around about 29, 39, might even be. I would have liked Jarrod Bowen to be a successor of Mo Salah. I think he's a constant performer. He's a true professional. He gives everything on the pitch. He's their captain. He's their leader. He always chips in with goals. He's flexible in terms of he can kind of play off the right or he can do a job up top. I think he's a great player. I'm a big admirer of him for a long time now, and I think the only reason why maybe Jurgen Klopp didn't make a move for him in terms of giving competition down that right hand side for Mo Salah, because let's face it, Liverpool have had no real competition down that right hand side for the last 7-8 years really. Mo Salah's had that position locked off. I think, his age, I think if he wasn't of, I think whether he's 30 or touching 30, I think Liverpool could have been a club that would have looked at Jarrod Bowen. Lucas Paquetá, I don't believe the hype with his play, if I'm honest. Is he a good player? Yes. Do I think he's a great player? No. I think he's a good 1 in 3, 1 in 4 player. And I think for me, you've got to be showing consistency. I know he nearly got that move to Man City a few seasons ago, and I think it wasn't for all the off-field stuff, yada yada yada. He probably would have got that move, and who knows, he might have been a better player playing with better players and under a better manager. We'll never know. However, do I think he's all that? No, I don't. So West Ham, it's a tough one really going to London Stadium, because we all know it's a toxic atmosphere before you've even kicked a ball. And not so much toxic for the away team, being Liverpool this weekend. It's just toxic in general. The West Ham fans don't like the stadium. It's too far away from the pitch. They're used to Upton Park, which is similar to Anfield's, where the supporters are right on the edge of the touchline. So West Ham, their supporters have never liked that stadium. They absolutely fucking hate their ownership at the moment. So it's going to be an odd environment. Well, it is an odd environment to play football in that stadium, and given the fact, and I'm saying this kind of tongue-in-cheek because we're shit at the moment, but West Ham are shit. Let's call it what it is. West Ham are not a good team at the moment. They've got a few decent players that are kind of keeping them away from being in the relegation zone. So yeah, that's West Ham really. They're a not very good team that are in a not very good position with a not very good points tally. And that seems weird to say that on current form, if you look back over the last 8 games, West Ham have actually got better form than Liverpool. And I'm just looking now. Liverpool, we'll start with West Ham. West Ham have got 2 wins, 2 draws and 4 losses, equaling 8 points. Liverpool in their last 8, they've got 2 wins, no draws and 6 losses, equaling 6 points. So actually, if you want to go on the form guide, West Ham are a better team than Liverpool at the moment in time. It sounds mental to even say that, but listen, on paper, West Ham are not a better team than Liverpool, and they shouldn't be beating Liverpool on Sunday. But as we all know, just before we get into the Liverpool stuff, Liverpool are probably the best team for anybody to play at the moment because we always concede, we can't seem to get any rhythm together, and yeah, if West Ham have got a great chance on capitalising on our poor form. So for West Ham supporters, they'll be licking their lips at the thought of Liverpool coming to town on Sunday. Now let's have a look at Liverpool. So as I've just touched on there, Liverpool are just absolutely dreadful at the moment. I think they're the worst team in the league if you go on form, apart from Wolves, which is terrible in itself to say that Wolves are currently sitting on 2 points at the bottom of the Premier League. That's wild to think that we're the champions of the Premier League, we're the current holders, we're the current champions of the Premier League, and we have got, apart from the team at the bottom of the league, the worst form guide. That's just fucking mind-blowing to think, and I never thought in a million years that going from 6 months, and I put a post out about this on my Instagram early today, just trying to stay a little bit positive because at the moment it's dire being a Liverpool fan. Let's have it right. I was trying to share a bit of positivity, and I scrolled back from the day that we lifted the title. It's like 6 months ago, and if you'd have told me that in 6 months' time Liverpool would be going to West Ham away at the end of November, not in a Premier League fight for the title, and West Ham are actually in better form than us, I'd have laughed at you. I would have absolutely laughed at you. But now you lot are laughing, or all the away fans are laughing at us. And look, we deserve it. We're shocking at the moment. We're absolutely shocking. Let's have it right. And for me, this is make or break for Arne Slot. I really do think that for any of you who saw my instant match reaction from the midweek game against PSV, I'm a very optimistic fan. I like to think about the positives rather than the negatives, but I'm kind of 70. I said this on the video. I'm 70-30. There's that optimistic piece of me. There's the 30% that's holding on, thinking that Slot will turn this around. But 70% of me is thinking that it's gone. It's absolutely gone. He's lost the team. He's lost the dressing room. Excuse me. And I think when that happens, there's only one outcome. The inevitable is bound to happen, and he's going to lose his job. And I honestly think that if Liverpool do not come away, I'm going to say with at least 3 points, but even if we get, it sounds wild to think about even just getting a point, he's going to be alright at West Ham, but fucking hell, Jesus, that's how bad it is. I think if we lose on Sunday, I think Arne Slot is gone. I think he will be gone by Monday lunchtime. I really do. I think it's that critical. And look, let's be honest, He's been given time. This has been going on since September. We're pretty much in December now. He's had two or three international breaks to sort this situation out, to get it right. And he's just been getting it horribly wrong. And for me, he has to make changes on Sunday. And what I mean by changes is, I think you've got to play right back, and whether that is Calvin Ramsey, which I've said before, I don't see an issue with. I think, what are we going to lose? We've got nothing to lose and something to gain from giving Calvin Ramsey minutes, and he's a natural right back. You don't have to ask him to fucking go up and down and leave the space. You can ask him to sit, hold his position, defend the line. And for me, he has to play a right back at right back. I'm sick of fucking Curtis Jones being there, and I'm even sicker of Dominic Szoboszlai being there. Slot, play a right back at right back, please. Please. I think Ibrahima Konate has to come out of the team. All this bullshit about these fucking contract talk, I'm honestly, my dad's been calling for Konate for a while now, and again, me kind of being the positive, we're sitting in the stands, I'm like, Dad, come on, he's good. And my dad's like, no, he's not good enough. And I've got to the point now where that battery, for me, giving positive vibes to Ibrahima Konate has gone. It's gone. The guy is performing awful. Probably the worst out of all of the team, potentially. There's an argument there to say it. And it epitomised this by the third goal that we conceded on Wednesday, when he basically, all he had to do was make a 3-yard pass to the outside of him. He completely missed the ball. I mean, worst case scenario, just fucking put it in the stand and start again, Ibu. But he didn't even do either. He came out, completely missed the ball, and yeah, we all know the rest. So for me, he's got to come out of the team. He has to come out of the team, and all the manager has to say is, look, you're not playing well right now, mate, so I'm going to take you out. This is not a forever thing. You can come back in when the time's right, but for now, bro, you're not playing well. So sit a few games out. Give Joe Gomez a run of games, like whether he even plays 60 minutes. Give him 60 minutes. Konate could potentially come back on, or worst case scenario, you can bring Gravenberch or Endo towards the back of the game into the back four. But yeah, he has to ring the changes. And I know I'm kind of touching on to starting lineups and whatnot, but another one for me is Isak. I think the guy looks fucking miles off it, and I don't know whether it's tactical or fitness or attitude, mentality. I have no idea, but he looks a shadow of what he was performing like at Newcastle last season. And depending on what Ekatike's his fitness status is, will determine, I think, whether Isak plays or not. I'm not, as much as I like Federico Chiesa, he ain't good enough to be starting games for Liverpool Football Club. He's really not. I know everyone's calling saying give Chiesa minutes, he runs around, he gets about the bit. He does, yes, he's energetic, he gets around the pitch, he shows willing, he shows fight. I get all that. But Liverpool need it, I suppose. Yeah, we do need that, but I don't think he's good enough. And I get fans calling for it, asking for a start, but I don't think that guy's good enough to be starting games of football for Liverpool. And another one is Alexis McAllister. I think until that guy can start performing on a consistent level like we know he can, like the performance he put in against Real Madrid a couple of weeks ago, I think he has to come out of the team. You know, you've got Curtis Jones there, who's a local lad. You know he's going to fight for the shirt. He'll fight for the badge. He'll show fucking pride. Give Curtis a run of games. Give him a run of games, because McAllister ain't up to it at the moment, and Jones will fight. You saw his interview the other night. He wasn't robotic. as much as it's shit to hear from what he was saying, it's like, he wants it. He lives and breathes Liverpool. The lad is Liverpool. He is now the scouser in our team. Give him time to fucking minutes on the pitch to be able to turn it around, to fight for the club, fight for the team, and maybe be a catalyst for some of the other players. Because I reckon with Dominic Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones in front of Ryan Gravenberch, you've got two fucking really good pressers of the ball there, really good, and that screams passion for me. That screams that, you know, we might be able to do something. Them two lads there, who knows? Who knows? Arne Slot will never see this in a million years. However, that's what I think needs to happen, because otherwise he's just going again with a losing formula. And there's a saying somewhere in that, I don't know off the top of my head, but is it fucking, you're on the cusp of fucking delusional? If you keep going with a losing formula, then you're the loser. It's something like, you all know what I'm talking about. Drop us a comment if you know the actual the phrase that I'm looking for there. But yeah, changes have got to be made. Let's just leave it at that. Right, let's get into the starting 11 prediction. Right, here's what I think Arne Slot is going to go with this weekend. I think he will make changes. Whether they're the right changes or not, I'm not too sure. But Alisson Becker's going to start in goal, hopefully. I've not seen any reason, I've not seen any press conference to whether Alisson is injured or not. I know he didn't play in the week, but on the presumption that Alisson is fit, Alisson Becker is going to start in our goal because he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Right back, I think he's going to go with Joe Gomez. I think Joe Gomez will come in. I think he'll continue with Ibu Konate, although I really, really, really hope that I'm wrong with that one. Sorry, Ibu, I love you, bro, but you've got to be taken out of the firing line for a bit because you ain't performing at the moment. For me personally, but I think Arne Slot will go with him again. Virgil van Dijk, and I think he's going to go Milos Kerkez again. I really do. And it blows my mind that this lad, who's got so much talent, just gets chucked in and just keeps getting thrown in the deep and been expected to swim. That's the best way that I can put it. He's getting asked to do this inverted role, which I have no idea why. If we wanted to buy an inverted fullback, why have we bought Kerkez? Because that ain't his game. It's wild to me. But look, I'm not a football manager, I'm not a scout, so people get paid a lot more money with a lot more brain cells than me to do this thing. So I'm sure there is data and analysis out there somewhere in the ether that supports why Liverpool have bought Milos Kerkez. But for me right now, I feel sorry for the lad, and I've said it multiple times on different videos. He's getting chucked in the deep end, and yeah, we know armbands basically. Midfield, I think he's going to go Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones. I actually do think he will make changes in there. I think Curtis Jones will get the nod, and I hope he does. I hope he goes with this. I really do, because I think Curtis has got a point to prove. I love the passion and the fight that he showed in his press conference after the game. And then up top, I've not seen the latest on Hugo Ekitike, so who knows on that one. However, I'm presuming that he is not going to be fit. It didn't look great. It looked like maybe a hamstring injury or something along those lines. So therefore, I think we're going to see pretty much the same. You're going to get Cody Gakpo, Alexander Isak and Mo Salah. How do I feel about that? Yeah. I do like Cody Gakpo, but I think the fact that he's got no competition behind him at the moment doesn't help. It was great last season because him and Diaz was basically fighting for that shirt. It worked really well. it brought the best out of both of them. Whereas now he's got Rio Wingamoa behind him, which I think Rio will be an absolute superstar, I've no doubt about that. But obviously Arne doesn't feel as though he's ready to be playing or starting Premier League games for Liverpool at the moment. It's fair enough, it's understandable, especially given the circumstances that Liverpool are in. You won't want to call him a kid, obviously, but you wouldn't want to throw a kid in there and basically knock his confidence really, and potentially hamper his career long term by doing that. So I understand why Rio isn't getting more starts in front of Cody every now and again. As I say, Isak will start because I don't think Ekitike is fit, and Mo Salah will start because Mo Salah starts every single game for Liverpool. Rightly or wrongly, oh God, I don't know with Salah, I really don't. I feel like the fight's there. I feel like his performances aren't as bad as what some people are making out. He just doesn't have his shooting boots on at the moment. There was a situation, I think it was in the first half against PSV, where he kind of cut inside, literally, like just everything about Mo Salah from years gone by. Rolled back the years, dropped the shoulder, came inside. He got to the edge of the box in a lovely position. You're just thinking, Mo, right? You just either rifle one the far corner or just nicely, finessely bend one, and he just pinged it into the stands. Like, wow, this is just not happening for that guy right now, and I'm sure it'll come good. He doesn't become a bad player, and I'm not on the bandwagon of hanging Mo Salah out to dry and saying that he's shit like so many people that I'm hearing at the moment. It's fucking ridiculous. The guy's one of the best players Liverpool and even the Premier League have ever seen, so I aren't hearing all this bad shit about Mo Salah. I'm really not. I think if Liverpool can get the balance right on that right hand side, that will help Mo Salah a lot better. That's how I think Liverpool are going to line up on Sunday. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think, any changes you think to mine. Let us know, drop us a comment. And yeah, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. And as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel because it's much appreciated, and therefore you will not miss out on any future content. Catch you in a bit.